I don't need to be here right now. I can go somewhere else. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Be strong. You'll get the hang of it out there, lad. For all our sparring practice, there's no teacher like the real thing. Now then, I have something for you.
Oh.
What, wait, you're giving me your Codex? I can't accept something like this.
Please, I insist. I want your love of history to grow, not just your love of warfare. Besides, maybe you can finish out the rest of it.
Zagreus likes history, huh? Achilles, I've seen no reason to regale you with stories of my past. Suffice it that I fought as bravely as I could alongside many of the finest men the world has ever known. The fearsome multi-headed hound of hell is really not so bad as he deserves reputation otherwise would leave you to believe. Yep, no, we're probably going to give Cerberus the nectar because I get more health whenever I do that. Gully! The animated skeleton and I, we seldom get along. He is too talkative for me and spouts such simple condensations to all those in earshot, seemingly as though he were an expert in the ways of war. I mean, he might be, we don't know. The master of the heavens, God among gods. So much of my mortal life was impacted by him, and now even in death I serve his brother. I do not think that I have much to say for the Lord Zeus, which is not widely known already. Okay, so this is all from the viewpoint of Achilles. Cool. Master of the sea, the earth shaker, brother of the Lord Hades and Lord Zeus, the Lord Poseidon. I am ever grateful that while I was living, he was merciful to me. Down here, however, I must say, I really feel his influence. All of us, we are beneath him now. Athena, of some things I am certain, one of them is this, that there were many times during my mortal life when my spear found its mark thanks to Pallas Athena. Yes, so in Greek and Roman mythology, each of the gods usually had. I'm not sure if they're technically honorifics, but they had words that were usually placed in front of them that indicated kind of like their specialties or indicated, what sort of form or what sort of role you were wanting them to come and help you with. I don't remember what Pallas means, but I think Apollo also is usually seen with Pallas. Aphrodite wields her beauty and her charm with much the same lethality as I could wield the spear. I have seen her handiwork firsthand, and it is often not as pretty as she is. Yeah, that sounds about right. She is super jealous. Do not mess with her. The goddess of the hunt has always held my highest admiration. Like so many of her brethren on Olympus, she seems unconcerned with being praised at every turn by mortals, and instead she dutifully holds her station as a master of the natural world. Although my heart has long since stopped, it yet holds love in it for all the gods save one, the one who made and ruined me as well. I have no kind words to impart to him except perhaps in form of this concession war, much like the heavens and the sea, can be considered as a force of nature. That tracks. That tracks because Ares. Like I don't have a whole lot of nice words to say about Ares, but you can't deny him. Apparently, also he's very whiny, which may be part of the reason why he doesn't have a lot of kind words to say about him. Hades, what is there to say about the master, not just of the house in which I work, but of the entirety of the domain beneath the earth, the place we all end up after we die? He is a god of character. I have to give him that. In life, I once served someone who reminded me of him a little. Yet even the kingliest of mortals pales in comparison. Suffice it then to say that the Lord Hades takes matters of his fate-appointed underworld in utmost seriousness. That sounds right. Mother Night, we like to call her, though rare it is the occasion when she dotes on us. She has her many, many children to look after, many of whom reside now in locales well beyond my reckoning and perhaps even beyond hers. Take one look at him, and I think any question of his parentages are soon resolved. He never seems to like it much there, growing up with Lord Hades' well-appointed house. One day I took him on as a disciple under orders from Lord Hades. The master worried that his heir lacked any firm direction in his life, and indeed Zagreus took well to the martial ways, and I am proud to say now that he was my student. I mean, okay, so the reason why there are like questions about his parentage is because apparently in some of the myths, Persephone did not have Zagreus with Hades, had him with Zeus, who had disguised himself to look like Hades, which is not the first time the man had done that. But apparently he's saying that when he actually, got to know Zagreus, he was like, no, this isn't Zeus's kid. This is definitely Hades' kid. So, okay. They are establishing that right now for this game's mythos and lore, so then that way anyone who's like me, who's read a lot of Greek mythology growing up, maybe not remember all of it clearly, but occasionally I get a worm in my brain. I'm like, wait, what was this story again? And I'll go look it up. So they're establishing right now that no, he is legitimately Hades' heir. No questions. Okay. Nope, go back. Ah! Huron. The Stygian boatman is a lot of things, although I am afraid he isn't much for conversation. I have tried, though perhaps not persuasively enough. Hypnos. It is said that sleep is the cousin of death. That turns out to be not quite correct, insofar as the two, in fact, are brothers, born to Nyx herself. Okay. Yeah, no, that again, they say, sleep is the little death, so hypnosis being god of death again. Because Hades is not the god of the death, he is the god of the dead, but he is not actually death. Thanatos. That's Thanatos. That is the actual god of death. So his brother Thanatos, which we haven't met yet. Will we meet him? He wills away, half sleeping, watching over the pool of sticks in the foyer of the house, taking stock of those arriving in the master's domain or returning to it. Undiscovered artifacts. Darkness. Born of chaos, the underworld is a domain of pure and utter darkness. Sometimes this dark essence becomes manifest through all the raging of the dead and all the strife that can unfold beneath the earth. Bloodstones. The world itself is alive in a way, is it not? Even the realm of the dead, all of us here, the world with it. We flow through time as blood flows through the mortal veins. Look carefully and you shall find that there is power feeling in the earth itself. I mean, Gaia. And like any power, it seeks to be claimed, to be held, with all that in mind, as well as due to appearance, I suppose, do bloodstones take their name. Okay. So I throw them, and whenever they drop, I collect them. Okay, that works. Although the master is best known for presiding over the vast realm of dead beneath the earth, he has another preoccupation, wealth, riches, and the like, perhaps for its own sake, or perhaps as a measure of how effectively he oversees his domain. No, I don't think it's for its own sake. I think it is an efficiency thing for him. Charon's Obul. The underworld is best known as the domain of death, but it is also the domain of countless wealth and riches sent into the river Styx along with the deceased. Yes. Again, part of the burial practices, I believe, for both the Greeks and the Romans, were whenever you died, You would either place a coin in the mouth, which is why Scully has what looks like a coin in his mouth, or you would place 2 coins over the eyes, and that was basically the payment for Huron to get you on his boat so then he could take you across the rivers into whatever domain you were supposed to end up in. The Elysian Fields, Asphodel, or Tartarus. Tartarus was usually the bad place. So if you were super bad, you would end up in Tartarus. If you were a decent person, but not like great, like just average people, they would usually end up in Asphodel. Apparently is currently flooded. Probably because Hades is a little upset, and if it used to be lush fields, probably, a place that he created for Persephone, because she is the flower goddess. And then she left, apparently. Alright. Anyways. Centaur hearts. The Aequian centaurs are well known for their unlimited endurance, and although their reign has long since passed from the mortal realm above, their resolve lives on within the underworld. Okay. There is not much to eat here in the underworld. Conventionally speaking, the pomegranate is a rare exception, having made its way down to these depths, perhaps alongside the Lord Hades himself when he first came to this realm eons ago. Here, this blood-red fruit holds something of terrifying power. I mean, it bound Persephone to the underworld, so yes. The master artisan called Daedalus has never known a peer, though it is little accident that the Lord Hades hand selected him from all the shades residing in the underworld to do his bidding for eternity, and for a hollowed place within Elysium somewhere. Stop saying I'm going left whenever I'm Sonic key. Certain artifacts within the realm of Hades have been sealed under lock and key to prevent tampering by those not yet prepared to harness them. Immeasurable might. Those keys, or so they appear, are not easy to procure. Titan blood. Deep within the unfathomable pits of Tartarus lie the realm of the Titans, who once ruled all between heaven and earth. Few traces yet remain of them due to their thoroughness with which they were dispatched in the war waged by their offspring, the gods, who now reside upon Olympus. Yet those scattered traces do exist, and a terrible power rests within. Yeah, the Kronos was the father of all the Olympian gods. Hades was burned first, and then I think it was Hera, and then Poseidon. Zeus is the youngest. Or maybe Vestia. No. I think Vestia was the youngest born of Kronos and Rhea. Okay. Mortals cherish these stones for many brilliant colors, going to lengths too extravagant for them, to extract them from the earth, to steal them, to be blunt, from the rightful domain of Master Hades. The Master also values them, for light exists in limited supply down here, and the light reflected through the gemstone's facets is more valuable of all. Nectar. The drink of the gods is one of the underworld's most sought-after delicacies, and truly perhaps one of the only sources of genuine lightness here within this realm. Okay. Those. Okay. So my husband brought up that there is apparently a lot more, which we've seen. All right. Yeah. Yeah, gotta slay a lot more of those guys. Okay.